Welcome everyone to another episode of TJU on Air. I have Shana here, and we're gonna just update you guys on where she's been since I met her living in the park under a tarp
Yeah.
with our other friend Diane.
Well,
Um,
lots of friends out there. Yeah.
lots of friends. And Diane is doing well, and she will be on another episode very soon. Today is all about Shana, and it's been a while, and a lot has happened since
Yeah.
then. So fill me in.
Well, first time I met you, I was caregiving for Will and Sandra,
Oh, that's
and
right.
I was homeless, but I had run into someone that she needed a roommate, and I had income, and I'd known her from years before,
Okay.
and so that's what I was trying out but I was only there like maybe 2 weeks, and then back on the street again, and just she let me go there, take a shower, and I give her money, so that she could make her own ends meet because she couldn't have anyone living with her.
hmm
So
How long have you dealt with homelessness throughout your years?
3 years.
3 years. And prior to that, everything was okay, and
Yeah, I had my own place and everything, and had a flood and had to leave.
that was it.
That was it.
And you had
No
income when that,
cause eviction because we got flooded out. Because I got flooded out,
and that
and they
was
wouldn't reinstate me anywhere because I didn't know the laws or anything. They had to put you somewhere, and but they did. They tried to put me in a place where I moved out of the hood years ago, over on Evelyn,
hmm
and they wanted to put me right back over in that particular hood. I said, "I'm sorry, no, it's not compatible to what I was in. No."
yeah.
And so I just left it at that. They didn't try to do anything else, but that's the way they were. After you've been in a place for 10 years, and all of a sudden they company takes over because the landlord had to take care of his daughter. She had to have heart surgery. So it went to the apartment companies, or the different agencies that they got, and they jacked the prices up so much. But yeah, they gave us a no cause eviction
So it's still
after
eviction on
being
your
there
record.
10 years. And our rent was on time all the time, never late, no problems at all. And they just decided, well, we can get more rent, and this, whoever you sold the apartments to, she lived out of town. She lived in Los Angeles somewhere by LA. And, since then it's been dealing with people, housing people, and not housing, but agencies that deal with people that have turned their houses and apartments over to that particular person, like an accountant,
hmm
but only it handles all their business and this and that. And they took advantage of it. And they just jacked the prices up left and right, and the landlords never say anything. Of course, you never know who the landlords are.
What was the rent before they jacked it up?
700,
Okay.
and they jacked it up to 1,000.
Okay. Yeah. Well, it's
Yeah.
probably way
So,
higher than that now.
oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is no way that even if you had 2 to 3 jobs working by yourself that you can maintain an apartment, because they want anywhere from 1,200 to 1,300, maybe 15 for a studio, what
hmm
they call a studio.
Yeah.
1 bedroom, 2,000. And how can anyone, you can't. If you make $1,000 a month on a low Social Security income,
You forget about it.
forget it. Yeah, it builds up every year, but then cost of living goes up every year.
Yeah.
So how can you possibly get ahead or save any money when all your check is going just for the rent
Uh huh.
and not utilities and not anything else that you have to pay for: water, garbage, sewer, which that all used to be included in the rent. Not anymore. You got to pay it
Yeah.
separately. You got to pay for that plus your rent. So the
So
average is, at another couple hundred.
so
So,
3 years on and off,
hmm
and on and off meaning like you stay at friends or you
Yeah.
stay here or there, but you never had your own place,
No.
and always here on the streets of Reno.
hmm
Okay.
Just here on the streets of Reno, yeah. I
Yeah.
was born in
Yeah.
Los Angeles.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So it was an eye opener, you know. People, a lot of people choose to be at where they're at. They just give up or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and that's your choice. I mean, everybody has their own free will.
Mm-hmm.
I had a will to get out of that situation because it wasn't me. You know, I love camping, but I don't like to camp that much and not have to worry about keeping one eye open at night to sleep.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, if at night when you helped me out to get a motel room, you know, I got paid 2 days later, but within that 2 days time, there was a couple of people stabbed at the park and left for dead, and it very well could have been me or anybody else because it was random. They ended up living only because someone came through, happened to see someone, and boom, went and called 911 right away because you know they had their throat slit.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. And
Wow.
I knew who they were, and you know the people to hang out with and who not to hang out with, or not to cause trouble with or anything else. You know, you have that respect. And dang it, if you're a homeless person out there on that street, be appreciative of what you have or where you're at sleeping, because now you'll go to jail. You know, sleeping on the sidewalk, they'll give you a ticket.
Yeah.
It's just not legal anymore, sleeping in a car, anywhere.
Yeah.
So what do?
No, it's
You know,
stupid.
you have to sneak around to sleep. And God only knows where that's going to be, you know? And you could get into the middle of a shootout or a fight or something, and you're totally an innocent person. So it's rough.
Yeah.
I don't recommend it, but like I said, a lot of people choose that, and they've been that way for so long and they don't have help, or they don't know how to get the help. They didn't have the outreach.
Yeah.
Or they did, baby, and at the time, they just didn't care. Nah, I'm happy just like this. Or they just don't have an income.
And there's a lot of people that you make friends with out there
Yeah,
that you would have never been friends with before,
true.
probably.
You know,
But it,
I might have been one of those judgmental people.
yeah.
And it's like, don't judge a book by its cover.
Uh-huh.
Get to know the person
Yeah.
before you say anything to anybody or anything. Before you say anything about them, at least get to know them. Really find out.
Yeah.
Don't be so judgmental. It's bad. It's
Mm-hmm.
being judgmental. It just come right back on you with karma, one way or another.
Yeah.
And you'll never know it. Well, what I do to deserve this? You know.
So that 3 years.
And that's just the people that don't understand because they've never been in that situation
Yeah.
or even tried to understand the situation.
But that has really changed your perspective on.
Oh,
on
definitely,
everything.
yeah. I mean, I never put people down anyway. I was just one of those. Yeah, you need some help? I'll help you out.
Mm-hmm.
If I can, and I always have. And they do what everybody watches everybody's back, keeps an eye out,
Mm-hmm.
keeps them safe. And the ones that know it's been out there longer will give you the ropes on what's happening and what to look for and what not to look for, because you just can't be a total innocent, naive person out there on that street. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
It won't work. You'll end up hurt
Yeah.
or dead.
Yeah. Oh, like that person at the park who almost lost their life. They didn't, luckily. But
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
that was
They
a close
lived.
call.
And they only because somebody happened to come by that knew him and saw what he was bleeding. He was on the wall and the other guy was up on the gazebo. Now they tore all that down at Deer Park. I don't know if they shut it down now or not, but
Yeah, I mean, I've met a lot of people at Deer Park, homeless people, and
yeah.
people I've helped out and stuff. And for the most part, everybody I've met I've met some really good people there. I've
There
also
is
met
good people
some
there.
people that are like,
There really is. Believe it or not, they might be a little dirty and need a shower and need something to eat and look like they are ill or something, but no. And two, a lot of people that are out there turn to other things like the alcohol
mhm.
and the harder drugs that's out.
One time I
And
went
that's
over
just because
there.
it keeps them alive.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, one time I went over there and gave a bunch of people food,
Mm-hmm.
and there was a guy standing outside of the bathroom, and there was a group of guys in the bathroom doing their thing, And it's funny because I just was like, you could tell he was standoffish with me, but my whole thing was like, hey, I don't care what you guys are doing.
Right.
If you're hungry, you got to eat, right?
Yep.
So how do you want some food? And do they? And then I left enough for everybody.
Yep.
But then I met a kid there one time. It looked like he was just lost, and I mean, he had been sleeping
Probably
on the
was.
bench for a couple nights, but he wasn't like homeless. You
Right.
know what I mean? It was fresh, and
Yeah,
he was
yeah,
in a
yeah.
pair of
Just
shorts.
kicked
You
out of
know?
the house or something, and yeah.
Yeah, and I was really glad I got to meet him and help him out. And the video I made actually, his parents got to see him because of that video, and then they knew where he was.
Yep.
So they
And
did.
sometimes that's a blessing.
Yeah, yeah.
'Cause-
What's like I know you made a lot of friends out there, people that I already knew too.
Mhm.
And do you feel like you made some better friends living outside than you did before you were living outside?
No, it's about the same. I
About the
mean,
same.
just because they didn't have a house doesn't mean they're not good people.
No, and I say that because a lot of people I've met, I feel like I've met some really good,
Mhm.
interesting people in my journeys out there helping everyone.
Right.
Sometimes I enjoy my conversations with the people I help more than I do a lot of people I've met throughout my lifetime that
Mhm.
are successful or have a lot of money or whatever.
Right.
And I think that just because anyone who's been through a lot is more of who they really are, and they show themselves a
Definitely.
little
Yeah.
bit more.
Experienced.
Yeah, yeah, and I like that. For me, I enjoy speaking with people that are on that side of things,
Mhm.
and people that have been through stuff. I've been through stuff, and
Right.
you just treat people differently.
You do.
You know.
Yeah, and it's just like that when I saw you at the park and you got the motel room
Mm-hmm.
and my boots for me, thank you.
Yeah.
never,
Still got them.
never give those up. No, I'm so appreciative, especially today.
Yeah.
You know,
Perfect boots for today.
yeah,
All that snow out there.
and they're comfortable and yeah. I mean, you just do so much for people. You're a blessing. You got such a good heart.
Thank you.
And I know probably a lot of people say, "Oh yeah, I don't believe it." And guess what? Check it out, because this is a really good guy, and it's spreading a lot more. I've noticed there's other people out there
Doing things like I
doing
do.
things like that.
Yeah.
But who knows? You might have inspired them.
Mm-hmm. And that's
Got
always
that
been the
fear
goal.
out of them and inspired them. And say, you know what? I'm going to do the same thing. This is what I've always wanted to do, and I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
I'm going to help people when I can.
Mm-hmm.
And you have a line of products that you're selling now.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's good
Yeah.
because every time you sell something, if somebody buys something, then you could turn around and give another person the same thing.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
Buy one, get one free.
Mm-hmm.
And the free one, you just give to someone else
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
really needs it. They don't have the money. Now that you're selling your products, it's better because you'll have more to contribute to people.
Yeah. You took all the words right out of my mouth. That's exactly what I'm trying to
Yep.
do. And
And
I'm selling the stuff that I know is the most needed out there. And
oh
some stuff
yeah,
are kind of a little bit
right,
more of a luxury item,
yeah,
like a hat. Not
right, yeah.
everybody needs a hat, but it sure is nice to have a good hat when you
It,
can't do your hair every day.
it is.
You
It
know?
is. Or that sun's so hot you can't take it.
Mm-hmm.
Or if it's snowing outside or raining, at least your head stay dry.
Yeah.
And unless it's raining real hard.
And more often than not, people outside they're given leftovers or hand-me-downs or
Right.
whatever. They don't get that nice new item anymore.
Exactly. They don't get the
Yeah.
new feeling.
Uh-huh. Or choice, even.
Or choice.
Like when
Yeah.
I walk up and I have an array of things, and what would you like?
Mm-hmm.
And offering that choice, I think
Yeah,
is
and they're
essential.
still all packaged up and everything. And you know that you're just, oh, this is mine and this brand. It's like going to the store.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
Without having to pay for it.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
It's pretty nice. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, and back to you and what you've experienced in your years outside and the friends you've made and what's happened, what was it like? I mean, in a nutshell, what your day to day.
Rough. It was rough day to day because you have to worry about where you're going to stay. You have to worry about what you're going to eat, how to make some money, find, hey, I'll sweep your parking lot for a meal or something, or I'll do this,
Did you find a lot of people real cold to you, or some people welcoming and warm?
Well, the people there in the neighborhood where I was staying, they basically knew a lot of the people and they helped them out.
Mm-hmm.
And those are the stores that we kept going back to, and the restaurants, you know, so that we wouldn't get the cold shoulder or just looked at like, oh, it's just a street person. Just never mind about them, because they were just being judgmental and not knowing the people.
Mm-hmm.
They were just going by what they saw and what they were taught or brought up with, or it's a totally different experience.
Well, and I mean, a lot of people have had a bad experience with a homeless person somewhere,
But
and
yeah,
myself
I'm
included.
sure. But
But
don't we
that
have a
doesn't mean
bad
everybody.
experience with everybody?
Yeah.
Not everyone's going to like us, and you're not going to like everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
But don't put them down or don't discourage them just because of who they are.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
Don't judge
just
a book by its
yeah,
cover.
that's it. Don't judge a book by its cover.
Yeah. Did your diet change a lot when you
Oh,
ended up?
definitely. I lost so much weight. I was down to a 30 waist before I fell and went into the hospital for 3 months. Of course,
Yeah.
yeah, and you came up to the hospital and saw me. That was so cool.
Yeah.
You know,
It was good to
it
see
was
you.
great because that was a life changing experience. Also, it's like, oh man, finally getting a chance to get off the street and I can go to a shelter or a place a program that has a housing, maybe a pod or something, but it's to be someplace and be on a housing list or matched with a housing list to get into. And I was trying to do that, but then I fell, and it just changed everything.
How'd you fall exactly? What happened?
Tripped. Um, we were. I was out getting. A friend and I was out getting products. She had to go to the store, and I went to the store, and so we was out shopping around and getting what we needed and everything. And couldn't take it back on the bus. Didn't quite have enough cab money.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, now if you're a senior citizen and you're on food stamps or any kind of Medicaid or anything, you can qualify for a government phone from SafeLink, QLink,
Mm-hmm. And
So,
taxi bucks or
and the
whatever.
taxi bucks for senior citizens. Well, it's called Senior right now,
Okay.
but yeah, they'll load your card every month if you have to go down to the bus station and if you're a senior citizen, and I think you still either have to be on Medicare, Medicaid, or something like that with government assistance, food stamps. You qualify. So,
That's
and
pretty
they
cool.
load your card every month, $60.
That goes pretty fast though, doesn't it?
Well, depending on how much, I use mine to go to the doctor's appointments
Mm-hmm.
back and forth with a cab because it's quicker than the bus or like days like this.
Yeah.
They'll pull you right up to the door and let you out.
So
Yeah,
you
because
fell. But what exactly happened to your
oh,
body, or what?
uh,
What did you break, or what was it?
no, I had a friend come pick us up instead of taking a cab.
Uh huh.
Uh, and I was loading the car up while my other friend was paying for the gas. And so I loaded the car up and I turned around and to grab two more bags, and this one leg didn't get quite up on the curb, and I tripped and I fell down again. And it wasn't the first time. And I was paralyzed. I couldn't move.
You hit your neck.
I was damaged. They had to go do emergency surgery on my neck.
And you were homeless at that time,
Mm-hmm.
and then they
Yep.
took you to do surgery in the hospital, and then
Yep.
to a rehabilitation center.
Yes.
Right.
From the hospital, yeah, I was. They had to do the emergency surgery on my cervical,
Mm-hmm.
3, 4, and 5.
Oh, okay.
And it looks like a door hinge in there from the side view. Like, he said, "Here's your jaw," and then like right here is where your neck is from the side view, and it's like a plate, like a hinge in there, and it separates those three from compressing down. Because that's what it was.
Okay.
That's what was causing me to.
They're
I fell.
compressing
I
and
fell a lot. Yeah, I was just.
so this was something that was kind of like compounding over time because you
Yes.
had fallen so
Well,
many
yeah,
times.
those vertebrae were pretty well bad. And that was what was causing it. Was they were resting on the nerves, because all your nerves are right there.
Yeah.
And it was resting on the nerve, which was causing me to lose my balance, to the numbness and everything. Which I'm still numb. I'm coming back from where I was. Well, you know that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I used to walk everywhere. And it's
Yeah.
good for your heart. I mean, I walk all over that place or all over this town instead of, taking a bus or anything. I can just walk. It's good for me. I can't do that now.
Yeah. But you're moving.
Barely, yes. Yeah, at least I'm walking.
Yeah.
it's just going to take time for me to get that back as the nerves get better. And they realize the hardware I've got in my neck, and the separation. Yeah, it's going to take them a while.
When I went and saw you, you weren't walking at that point.
No.
How much, I don't know if you remember exactly, but about, how much time did it take for you to start walking again and get on your feet?
Well, I was going to therapy and, teach me, or with the walker, with a Hemi walker. Because there's one AC joint in my shoulder. I couldn't use my arm. I could hardly even move it.
Yeah.
Now, it's not 100%, but I can move it.
Good. Yeah.
But the doctor still hasn't released me, the neurosurgeon. So
okay.
And he said it's going to take time. He says, but you're doing so good. He says, you were a mess. I says, I know, Doc. Thank you. And I was, But it stopped me from dying, maybe from a fall. I mean, that last one was enough to, you take me to the hospital.
Yeah. Before that, you'd fall and you wouldn't do anything about it.
Well, yeah, because I wasn't hurt. I didn't feel I was hurt. I'd stand up for a minute and, and I'd be okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't hurt, but
Yeah.
I'd fallen, yes.
Wow.
A couple hard falls, too.
And since then, you've been out of that rehabilitation center for a while and kind of moving a little bit on your own.
Not even maybe a month.
About a month, yeah.
Which is all different, learning how to walk. Still walk because the streets are different from the sidewalks and the roads. I mean, they're not flat level like a hospital floor. I mean, you don't have to worry about where you're walking, but you have to see where you're walking at the same time.
Yeah.
So you're all looking up and down.
And currently,
and fearful.
Currently, you're not homeless right now, and you're doing okay because you're rehabilitating and you're staying inside.
Right. Well, I am homeless, but I'm sheltered right now.
Okay.
Until I get better.
Yeah.
And I can do what I have to do.
Yeah, and hopefully get some help into your own place.
Oh, yeah.
You're working on all that. And
oh, yeah, I'm working on it. Like I said, it's just taking time, and I wasn't expecting this fall, and neither were they. So things just kind of got prolonged.
I'm curious because I know myself with my ankle, what happened to me, it changed my life dramatically.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that I'm not glad it happened, but at the same time, I'm glad I'm where I am.
Right.
So
because of the experience.
Yeah, and where it got me to, and how I appreciate things and look at things now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, you learn when you're out there on the street, you learn to appreciate.
Mm-hmm.
You should. Anyway.
You should, yeah.
A lot of people, they don't get it. But then they might, and they just don't care.
Yeah.
Me, if somebody offers you, or if you're going to sleep somewhere, and be respectful, pick up your own trash.
Yeah.
Pick up your trash. Because if you don't, this is why people turn other people away that are sleeping there. Because they won't pick up their garbage. They won't clean up after themselves. And they don't respect the property. Well, sleep somewhere where there's an all-night bathroom. Like an Arco or something. Don't disrespect the land that you're sleeping on or where you're sleeping. Respect it. Appreciate it.
You think a lot of people get to a point where they just don't care?
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. They give up. If they give up their hope, they give up their faith, they give up everything because they just don't care anymore. And it's hard to come out of that situation.
Yeah.
I was getting to a point where, whatever, I don't care anymore.
You were almost there, huh?
I was almost there. And like I said, have faith because it'll happen.
Yeah.
Don't ever give it up, ever.
And it's crazy to me. I mean, everybody's situation is different.
If you don't take the first step to reach out, or if you hear about it, take the opportunity while it's there, then you're not going to go anywhere.
Well, and for you, what's given you this opportunity was actually an injury, right? I mean,
yeah,
somewhat?
well, yeah. When I heard about the program, it was cool because it was totally different than the other shelters out there.
Mm-hmm.
This was a private one, and even though they still share the property with one of the other shelters, there's still a good program,
Mm-hmm.
and you get your own little pod, like camping out in a tent or a cabin.
Yeah.
Say, it's yours. You have to get up, go to the bathroom in the middle of the night. It's open. You have to get up, go to the cafeteria for your food because you can't cook in there. But so what?
Yeah. It's a great
You're
stepping
not in
stone.
prison. You're not in jail.
Yeah.
Which that's the same thing they do. They give you a cell to sleep in. Well, these people give you a pod to sleep in, and where you're safe. And they back and forth. They take if you need medical attention or medical appointments, they take you back and forth.
Wow.
So yeah, and the other ones I'm not so sure about. I've just heard that they were just like a shelter, and either you're there or you're not, and you either get a bed or you lose a bed. This is guaranteed.
Okay.
Even if you leave, you got your own place to come back to. Own private place to come back to.
Yeah.
So that's what got me. And I didn't have to worry about my stuff being stolen or anything because it's not. There's no way because other people aren't allowed to go to other people's particular place that are staying there.
That
And
sounds pretty good.
can't have visitors really.
Yeah.
You meet them in. Well, hey, I'm not guarded.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I haven't done anything wrong. I'm just trying to get myself off. I don't want to be there. I've had enough experience. I don't want to be there. So it's time for me to do something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like make that first step.
When you were outside, you say like food was hard to come by, and you changed your diet a lot, and you lost a lot of weight.
Yeah, the hot food was hard to come by.
Hot food was hard. What was like, what was say a go-to meal for you, and what would be like one of the most shocking things you ended up eating when you were hungry?
When I ate, I go to because there's pantries that I knew about.
Okay.
So I would go there, or even to the little rescue boxes for the animals.
Yeah.
Sometimes people would put human food in there, and I say human food, people food.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it was basically for the animals.
The karma boxes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those are great.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
They're excellent.
Yeah.
Especially if you're homeless and have a cat or any kind of animal. You got backup. You at least your animal will be fed. And if go to a pantry that's given out, like church at the library back in there, Wednesdays and Saturdays. And you could go every week if you wanted to, or twice a week if you wanted to, and get food. And I'd go, and I'd have people go with me from the park. Come on, let's go get some food. Just walk up Rock and to the apartment complex, and you're right there at the library.
So you would say that one of the hardest things to come by was hot food.
Hot food, yeah. Hot food.
Yeah.
And unless you had an income and somebody bring it to you or something, or one of the restaurants would say, hey, go here.
What was one of the things you missed the most eating when you were out there?
Steak.
Yeah.
Well, I missed a lot of things, but hey, I had my honey buns.
Yeah.
I really didn't have an appetite that much.
Mm.
I knew I had to eat, so I'd eat. But when I was in the hospital, I took advantage of the fact that I could eat whatever I wanted to anytime I wanted to. And that's what put my weight back on me. When you saw me, I was skinny.
Yeah.
I was down to 30 waist. Now I'm back up.
Oh, hey.
But you're not moving around for 3 months, just in a hospital or in a bed, just hooked up, until it's time for you to get up.
Yeah.
So, but it was all right, and I kind of had an opportunity of the experience of learning how the rehabilitations hospitals are really about. They're like, quote unquote, nursing homes.
Yeah.
They don't call them that anymore. They're rehabilitation places.
Well, and then they're designed to help you
Yes, they are.
and get
Well,
you on your own
you hear stories about they don't take care of the people well or something, and you never put your family member in a place like that. But they're not all like that.
Yeah.
Where I was at, they were great. I mean, they were actually concerned, and they kept monitoring all the time. And pushy buzzard, boom, they were there. You know, sometimes you might have to wait if they're, like late at night if they're understaffed, but it's worth the wait.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like nothing's gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just have patience. They'll be there,
Yeah. Yeah.
and they don't leave you soiled or anything or dirty. Your room's always cleaned up. Your beds are always changed, and they take care of you. They, you know, if you can't get to the shower, they'll give you a bed bath. You
Sounds
know?
like a pretty good place.
Yeah, it was. It was great.
Not bad at all.
Yeah.
So going from where you were to that, I mean, that's
graduation.
yeah.
And sheltered, even though I was in a hospital recovering.
Still sheltered.
Still.
Yeah.
And I was thankful for that. You know, I was thankful that I had insurance, from, you know, because I'm in my 60s, Medicare.
Yeah.
And, which I did not know I was covered. You know, I thought Medicaid was covering that hospital. No, they don't cover it all.
Huh.
Medicare, and
Okay.
Part A for hospitalization.
Okay.
But that's only for a certain length of time, which I about used that 90 days up.
But you needed it.
And I was ready to, you know, I was doing what I could do. Therapy, they did what they could do. They just, because I just kept going, you know, what they taught me and how. I mean, they had to teach me how to redress, how to walk, how to eat. Because, like I said, I lost all mobility.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's still, sometimes when I stand up, I have to stand there for a minute because I'll start twitching and I'll start jumping. And it's only because of the nerves are trying to get back.
Yeah. Well, it's only going to
the
get
whole
easier.
body went through a whole shock.
Yeah.
Terribly.
Were you scared that you wouldn't be able to
Yes.
walk?
It was the most terrifying feeling I'd ever had. You know, once you have it, you know, here today, gone tomorrow.
Yeah.
Well, here now, it could be taken away tomorrow.
When you were homeless and you saw other people that had things or whatever it may have been, and you felt like you wished you had that or you were missing something that you didn't have, once you were almost paralyzed or were paralyzed and then you couldn't even walk,
Right.
all of a sudden I'm sure you realized real quick that all you wanted more than anything was to have mobility again.
Yeah.
And you see people even in the worst situations but have mobility, and you look at them like they're wealthy because they can move, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. You know, be thankful for what is scary. You know, and I'm sure a lot of veterans know this because they do.
yeah.
A lot of people who has had the experience or had the knowledge of it, which is basically going through experience, don't give up. Just, you know, don't give up and let that fear go, but it's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard, and even though you are getting your functions back, it may not be the same. You still may be limited, but however, don't give up. And a lot of people I know in the past have that. Oh yeah, I can do it, but I just don't want to because it just takes so long. And yeah, you have to have patience, which you learn.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm curious, you know, I see a lot of people out there that tend to always stay in groups when they're living outside.
Well, yes, that's the
and
best thing to
partner
do
up.
because you know somebody's always got your back
Yeah.
because you just never know. You know, I got attacked by a dog out there at the park, and I was just standing around talking with other people, and everybody was petting the dog and everything, and the dog came up to me and just bit me. But you know, right here, see my
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I see it.
and it was pit bull, and it's like, oh, I'm so sorry. I said, hey, it happens. You put the dog on a leash, will you, please? You know.
Well, at least you were okay about it. Some people lose their stuff.
Well, yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
it happens. And you were okay. Like you didn't get.
Yeah, I didn't go to the doctor or anything because I knew I was okay. I could move it.
Yeah.
But now, you know,
You
I
feel
have
it?
a little bit of a problem with the thumb, but,
Yeah.
you know, I should have gone to a doctor, but I didn't.
Well, overall it works though, so
Yeah.
that's good. That's good.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. What was like that night you missed the stabbing at the park because you were in a hotel room, and
Yeah.
I mean that because
I was at a different place.
our timing just worked out perfect for that. It's not like we planned anything like that. I just happened to ask you what you wanted. You guys wanted a room. We got your room.
Yep.
And
Yeah, I
then
was
you
so
missed
worn out.
Is there
So
anything
worn
like that you didn't miss that happened to you when you were out there?
No, I was kept away from it.
That's
You
good.
know, uh, but I never gave up my faith,
Mm-hmm.
and I never give up angels.
Yeah.
Uh, they're there. You may not see them, may not feel them, but they're there.
Yeah.
And there's just some things that happen that you just don't question. You just accept it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, okay, I got the message. You know.
Yeah.
So,
What's like, what are the worst things you saw when you were out there?
oh, a lot of things. I saw people that were worse off than me. You know, and
How'd that
it's like,
make you
what can I
feel?
do to help this person?
Ah,
Hey, I got food stamps. You need something to eat?
yeah.
You know, yeah, sure. What do you want? Or come to the store with me.
Yeah.
I'll buy you something to eat.
I've seen the most generous people living outside than compared to anything I've ever seen. People that are willing to give
Because they're
everything they have.
appreciative and they know what it's like. And
Yeah.
if someone's hungry and you got the means, please
Mm-hmm.
donate to them or buy them something. You know, it's not going to hurt you in the long run. You'll be rewarded somewhere along the line.
Yeah.
It'll come back, and that's all you can do.
Yeah.
You know, people help them who helps themselves, but if you help yourself, you also help other people.
I'm curious too because not a lot of people think like this, but if you can remember, what was like the best thing you experienced or your best day when you were homeless?
Well, every day I wanted to be my best day. I
Yeah.
mean, it's your mindset.
Uh huh.
Well, how do you want this day to be? Or, or do I just want to be, grumpy and miserable and, because I don't like myself when I'm that way. I don't like myself when I'm angry.
Mm-hmm.
And if somebody angers me, I learn to walk away.
Yeah.
Not cause any trouble, keep my mouth shut if it was possible. But if they hit the heart, don't you tell me I don't love my cat, because I tell you what, you're wrong.
Yeah.
You know, that's my cat, and I'll take care of my cat. I finally found him again, and now he's somewhere else at another person's house who loves cats, and
He's
she
safe.
takes care of him.
Okay. Good. Good.
I was getting food for him. Walking back and forth every other day or every day as much as possible. And when I was in the hospital for 3 months, I tried to get a hold of her to let her know where I was at, that I wasn't ditching her or with him, the
Mm-hmm.
cat. But she got my messages, I know. She didn't call me back, but she got my messages because I always left a message. And she knew that I was always bringing food and leaving it on the porch
Yeah.
for him. So, well, for all the cats, actually.
So the day that I met Diane, but you were there, but I met her
No, I
first.
wasn't there when you met her.
You weren't there at first, but you were
Right.
there when I returned.
Yes.
And we had already met in the prior.
Yes, we
so
did
you knew who
from
I
Will and
was.
Sandra.
Yeah, but she
Yep.
didn't.
No.
Yeah. So I'm curious because that's an interesting scenario. What did she tell you what was going on? And then you already knew the whole drill. You knew who I was and what was
Yeah.
happening. And
I
that's
said,
what
really,
did you have
Nate?
to
I haven't
say?
seen him for a long time. She goes, you know him? I said, yeah. I met him when I was taking care of a client or,
Mm-hmm.
other people that he had come across, and he took them off the street and got them situated, And she was dying of cancer, but she'd gone back in remission, which last time I saw her, she was still in remission. So I think she still is anyway. I don't know. I haven't seen her for a while.
Um, she just passed.
Huh?
She just passed away.
Did she really? Oh my God.
Sorry to be telling you this right
Oh,
now
no,
like
no,
this.
it's all right.
But yeah,
She had cancer so bad.
it was about a week ago.
Oh, wow.
Her daughter called me yesterday
Oh,
and confirmed it with me, and I think her niece or something told me on TikTok. And at
well,
first, I didn't know for sure if it was her or not, but hearing it from her daughter, I know for sure.
yeah. I wonder what happened to Will.
I don't know, he's probably not doing too great.
Man,
But
probably not. Last time I saw him, he was having heart problems. He was supposed to go in for a procedure
yeah,
on
he
his
had a
heart.
pacemaker.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
haven't seen him since.
Well, sorry to break the news to you like that right
Well, no,
now.
no,
but
that's okay
yeah.
because I've wondered so many times because I used to run into her.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes. And I haven't. Yeah, so I was just wondering.
On that subject, since I've been doing this, it's been four people that
Mhm.
I've worked with or known that have been in my videos and stuff that have actually passed away.
Yeah.
And I'm curious, did you lose a lot of friends when you were outside? People that you knew that were close to you, did they pass away?
Most of them are already gone.
Okay. I mean, people living in that way, everything's
I mean,
amplified. Everything happens more, and
yeah,
it's
I
a
still
lot more
have
people
friends,
go.
friends in the neighborhood that you know, uh, Sandy, and
Hmm.
I still see her.
Yeah, it's tough. I never expected to have that happen. Helping people, I never thought I'd get close with people and
Yeah,
then lose
you
them.
do,
But yeah, it
but it's a
happens.
process of life. We live and we die,
Yeah, it is, and I
and
like to think
we
of it
never know
too.
when that's going to happen because it's not our time.
Yeah. And if they're going through something health wise or mentally or living,
Hmm.
in a tent or whatever, I like to think that at least now they're not struggling with that situation anymore.
Right?
At least they're at peace now,
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
and that's
Oh
good.
yeah.
That's good. I'm curious, you know a lot of what I do. You've seen
Hmm.
a lot of the people that have been in my videos,
Yeah.
and you might have a different perspective than I do. What do you hear about me out there on the
I've heard
streets?
nothing but good.
That's good.
I've heard nothing but good. It's like he's a good guy. He's not someone that's blowing your skirt up.
Yeah.
He's legit. He's real, and he has a heart. He's like an earth angel
That's what you guys
in
call it. I love
disguise.
it. I love it. Is there any way you think I could do a better job?
And you are doing uh, good as far as I can see. I know there for a while you were running yourself ragged. I mean,
Yeah.
and
I've had to taper back a little bit to make sure I can take care of everything on the back end.
right. Well,
Otherwise,
and
I
you got to
can't
take
keep
care of
doing it.
yourself too.
That too. Yeah. I guess I'm on the back end. I put everyone else first.
Yeah.
And that works for only so long until
And
you fall
I don't
apart.
see anything wrong with that one. I always had a hard time when people said, gotta take care of yourself. I am taking care of myself. What am I not? You know,
Yeah.
I'm helping other people. And that's who I am. Or always was.
Yeah.
So,
What?
because it makes me feel good. It makes
Yeah.
me feel good that I'm able to do that.
That's what I was gonna
And
say.
for me, that is taking care of myself. If that makes me feel good about helping someone else, then don't tell me I'm not taking care of myself. Now, if you talk about doctor's appointments or this and that, or hey, I can always do that.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Well, to a point,
Yeah. Well, yeah,
and
yeah.
I've learned
No,
the hard way myself. I
yeah,
push
no,
myself so hard, the next thing you know, I can't go help anybody,
right,
and that's what
yeah.
bothers me the
I
most.
gotta get my eyes checked again. Well, it's time. But I did done that. I got my teas. Uh, doctor's appointments I go to, especially now.
Yeah,
You know.
now things
So
are
yeah.
a lot easier to
So
do.
it's like I'm a real simple person, just me.
Mm-hmm.
And but right now I'm not able to take care of animals, or I gotta take care. I have to take care of myself right now.
Yeah,
But it doesn't mean I can't still help someone.
yeah, yeah.
Because that's just the way it is.
Like you said, that is taking care of yourself in a
Yeah.
way. Balance is the key, I think. You have to make
Right.
sure you take care of you, but also if you like taking care of other people, spend the time to do that too.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's never going to be perfect. People are going to need. That's the hard part for me
Hmm.
is there's so much need. I
Yeah.
can only do so much.
Right.
And even there's times where it's like I've done what I can, or I'm just getting over being sick, like
Right.
last week, and I drive by a person that I know could use help, but right now I have to recover, otherwise I won't be able to go help anyone.
Right.
So I have to pass this person. I can't stop.
Right.
That for me is the hardest part about
Right.
doing what I do.
And you're starting with your follow-ups, which is good.
Yeah, I'm doing what I
Yep.
can.
Yeah. Have a group, do what you can, and follow up, and then go to another group.
Yeah, yeah,
Especially when you're doing it by yourself.
yeah.
Well, that part.
I like doing things on my own because I build these relationships and I get to, I feel like, and I mean, you correct me if I'm wrong, but if, the way I approach people now alone, is I think a lot less abrasive or intimidating compared to if I come with a group and we
Right.
have a plan and a
Yeah.
program and hey, to check this
Yeah,
box, do this thing.
they're immediately shut down by that because that's just their defense mechanisms.
Yeah,
That's all that is.
yeah. Versus a guy like me is, it's at first it's a little bit different. Guy with a
Yeah.
camera approaching you in a whatever
Right.
situation you're in. But after we talk for a little bit, you can tell real quick
Mm-hmm.
that okay, we can do something together. This is he's
Yeah.
just
Yeah,
a
'cause
human
they're
being.
letting you in.
Yeah.
That defense is going
Mm-hmm.
down. That wall's going down.
Yeah.
Or that shield, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, I was scared out there. You know? And I try not to show it.
Mm-hmm.
But anyone tells you that they're not, they're blowing up your skirt. Okay? Because there's just no way you're not going to be fearful at one point out there. You know? The stars are beautiful, though, at night.
Yeah.
And when the weather, summertime is warm.
And did you ever get close to like freezing or anything? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I know it's cold.
A couple of times. Thank God you come around with the sleeping bags and the tents. There you
Yeah.
go.
But before I
It's
did,
perfect.
I'm sure there's a lot of times
Oh, a lot
where
of people were, a lot of people were just bundled up so much and trying to find a corner that's at least covered three ways. And the only way you have to worry about the cold hitting you is front way. Cardboard, I learned, is a very, very good insulator.
Huh.
Especially for the cold cement.
Hmm.
If you're sleeping on the ground or even the grass, get you some cardboard, clean, but get you some cardboard, heavy duty, and pad yourself. And it'll keep that cold cement, it's in between you and the cement.
Hmm.
And the cardboard, for some reason or another, does not absorb the cold. It kind of like it pushes it away, or like an insulator.
Yeah.
An insulator. And it will keep you warm.
Yeah, that's funny because you see people with cardboard all the time.
Yeah.
And you don't think that's why. You don't think it's keeping you warm. It's just a piece of
No,
cardboard.
you just think that you want the privacy but no, and it keeps you. Yeah, it's an insulator. You put it up like a box. Get a big box, and
Yeah.
yeah. Excuse me, this is my box. I'm sleeping in. I want to stay warm.
You find yourself bundling up with other people sometimes to share warmth and stuff like that? Or?
Well, I didn't,
Yeah.
but there may have been a couple times. Yeah.
Or an animal.
But that was just yeah. That was just for purpose of staying warm when it's so cold, and you're keeping each other warm. There's no just warmth.
And where we live with all the snow and stuff like that, I mean, how'd you manage to survive through it all?
Well, you learn, I guess, step by step along the way. I can't really answer that because everybody's different.
Mm-hmm.
There's ways. If there's a will, there's a way. You just have to search out that will.
Is there anything,
or have the will.
You figured out at some point that really saved, something you did, something ingenuitive, something you see, like cardboard, whatever it may have been,
Yeah.
that completely saved you that day or that time?
Yeah, I had an extra blanket and I wrapped my legs at night. Keep them, because arthritis is so bad. Kept them warm.
Yeah.
And as long as they stay warm, I wouldn't cramp. Because when you get cold, your bones, your muscles cramp. And there's nothing really you can do about it. And people just think you're spastic or on drugs or something when you're not.
You're freezing.
Yeah, you're freezing and you can't control your motor skills.
Yeah.
Because your muscles are so cold and so cramped and so tired from doing. Because believe me, it's busy. It's work. It is work. You can't just sit around and do this, do that without worrying about anything. Because you have to figure out what you're going to do and where you're going to go. Because one place isn't going to be always good for another night, or not.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to move around.
Being homeless is a job.
It is a
job.
job.
A lot of work just to survive.
Yeah, it's a tiring job.
Yeah.
Like I was walking every day. Just to see what I could do, just so I could earn some money before my check came.
From what
so
I
could
remember,
survive.
You were somewhat of a minimalist. You didn't have 3 carts full of stuff.
No, I didn't.
Ever.
No.
You could move around and you can get up and did you find that made things a lot easier?
Yes, because all my important things that I needed, I left them at a friend's house, and which is still there.
But
Just
you're
haven't
fortunate
gotten.
to have that.
Yeah,
Some people
well,
don't.
yeah,
So,
because I lost so much in storage when a while back. So, but most things are replaceable. But let me tell you something: your precious moments and your things that aren't replaceable are your pictures or your family pictures or whatever. Those
Mm-hmm.
things aren't replaceable. Birth certificates, yeah, it's replaceable if the place is still there,
Mm-hmm.
but chances are it's not. So, and you always need a birth certificate, one thing or another. Not so
And
much anymore, but you used to.
yeah, now you do. You need to have everything.
Yeah.
2 forms ID just to
And
do anything.
yeah, and well, my phone did get stolen, and my jacket. The one time that I left it, was going somewhere and right back. They must have been on it right away.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was gone. Within 15 minutes, it was gone.
Oh,
And it was like, really? Blanket, my jacket, my ibuprofen pills. I mean, for my pain, gone. My phone. You could at least left the phone. You know?
yeah. No, I hear that all the time. A lot of people always think every time I see somebody and they've lost their phone, they're like, oh, see, they sold it to do drugs or something like that. And it's like,
Right. And it's
that
like,
might happen sometimes, but a lot of times this stuff just disappears. It just gets
it does,
stolen.
because, and especially when they're homeless. Why do you want to steal from another homeless person? Explain. Would you want someone to steal from you because you're homeless and that may be all your means of communication is your phone?
Yeah.
And, they steal it to sell it, to
Yeah.
get to drugs or whatever. But still, have a little respect. Like I said, have respect out there on those streets. Have respect for your other homeless people. You know? If nothing else, work together. See if you can't pull yourself out.
You think if more homeless people work together, more people could get out of their situations?
Some point, yes, I do. It just depends on the person.
Yeah.
It just depends if you got the will, and if you got a way, if you need, it's always great to have help. It's always good to have another mind to help. Because some people may know of a place that you never knew about, and
A lot of the
you know,
people you met out there, did you see or feel that they really wanted to get out of their situation, or a lot of
yes, and
them
the
were
ones
just
that did are.
yeah.
There's nobody out there on the street right now that I know. They're all in a safe place.
But there's still the handful that choose to live that way and want nothing other,
Yeah,
right?
that's it. Yeah, who knows how long they've been that way or why, and whether or not they chose to be that way or just it happened, or maybe they were that way all their life. Maybe they were born to a homeless situation,
Yeah.
and that's the only life they know.
I mean, I got one friend I know.
Because it could get claustrophobic. I'm telling you.
Yeah,
If you're being outside and used to the outside and going to a place where you got, the walls and a door, it could get caustic. I mean, you could get, yeah,
yeah.
little closed in.
No, I hear that from a lot of people. It's tough to go back, and
It
some
is.
people can't do it. Some people just
That's it.
go
Some
right
people
back
just
out.
can't do it. Yeah.
And even though they have income or they have money or whatever, they can't do it inside after they've done it out for so long.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, they come accumulated to the elements.
And now that makes them a criminal.
I know.
That's
And
ridiculous.
it's like, excuse me, last I heard, homelessness wasn't a crime.
Yeah.
But they're making it one now.
Yeah.
And instead of putting them in jail, which you have to build another jail because you've got so many now that, and a lot of them is just redundant. They don't need to be there.
Yeah. A couple questions I like to ask everybody, but we never really had that encounter. As you, in a way, you answered it. But for me, approaching people with my camera on and going to help them and everything like that, had I approached you, and you didn't know me at all, and I just approached you but alone with my camera and offered help to you, do you think you would have been standoffish, or you would have
No.
accepted the help, or?
I'm not a standoffish person.
Yeah.
I might have looked at you a little bit,
Yeah.
But other than that, no. I would have said, I would have listened.
Do you think it's wrong for me to film what I do and share it with the
Not
world?
as long as they know it.
Yeah.
And you don't, if they say, oh, no, please, I don't want to be on it.
Yeah.
Then you shut it off.
Yeah.
So, and delete what you have on there.
That's
with
like that
them.
one family that you went with me when we went
Yeah.
shopping with who didn't want to be on camera, and we took those kids out and got them a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
And
She
I
has it
appreciated
had
the help
issues.
because we had to get a
Oh
lot of
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, with 6 kids
Yeah,
and her.
yeah,
And yeah, from all age ranges.
yeah,
Yeah. I had fun that day.
yeah.
And I was
Good
helping
time.
someone. Help someone.
Yeah,
And so that made me feel good.
yeah. And was that the day we got your boots? I
Yeah.
think it was.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah. So that worked out well.
Yep. Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
And it was like, maybe 3 days later, I felt, yeah.
I'm
Or
really glad to
like that.
see that you're doing a lot better. Really glad that I got to hang out with you
Oh, yeah,
and
me
hear
too.
the whole story,
Yeah.
one on one. What, if you could tell everybody out there on the other end of these videos one thing, what would it be?
Don't give up. Keep your faith and always believe. And you'll be helped. But you got to make the first step.
Mm,
You've got to show that that's what you really want.
yeah.
That's your will. That's your willpower. Never give it up. If you got the will, there's a way.
Yeah.
There's help. But you got to make that first step to show God that that's what you really want. You know?
You got to be willing to accept some help.
Yeah.
Don't be too prideful.
Think about it. Don't be judgmental. Listen.
Do you think you're ever going to have to be outside again?
I hope not. But there's no guarantee.
Yeah.
Something could happen to the earth and everybody's outside.
Do you think it would be, it's, easier now that you've done it?
Well, there again, it just depends on the year, the way the world's going or something. I know now it's a lot worse than what it was 10 years ago, maybe, or whatever. Because it gradually just, with life changes,
Yeah.
okay? With the economy changing, with everything being so expensive and this and that, there's more crime, there's more hate. Don't give up what you've got.
Yeah.
Don't sell your soul to the devil,
Mm-hmm.
basically.
Yeah.
And you got your choice. It's your own free will. When opportunity knocks, take that opportunity.
Yeah.
Don't kick a gift horse in the mouth.
That's right. That's right. And no matter, even if you make a bad decision, you can always come back.
Yeah, that's a mistake to learn from.
Yeah.
And everyone, I don't care. No one's perfect.
No.
We're not meant to be.
No, that's why I call myself, just Nate. I
Yeah.
mean, I am Nate, but I am just me.
Right.
I'm
Yeah,
no
I am
more,
who I
no
am,
less.
and that's it.
That's it. And that's okay.
Yeah.
I don't have to be perfect. I can still be myself, help other people, and be
Right.
who I want to be.
And of
And
course,
make a mistake.
yeah.
One last question.
Okay.
So the question is, a hug or a handshake?
Hug.
Let's
Always
do
a
it.
hug. I
Come
don't
on
care
up.
if you hadn't had a shower. I can turn my head.
Get that out of the way for you.
Take
Need
me a
help
minute
up?
to stand up. Yeah.
Look at you go.
Yeah, I know.
That's awesome.